a warm snafu welcome to Mandy.
Who did not get one of these yet? Raise your hand. Enjoy your presents. And for you, ma'am. Oh, yeah, you can open it for sure. So let me think here. When is the last time that you experienced rejection? Think about it. Was it on a dating app? Maybe someone didn't share your enthusiasm? Could it have been at a job interview? You thought it was a yes, they didn't. Or maybe it was just this morning in your inbox. You woke up to a no from an idea you had, a product you were selling, or maybe a request that you made. We are all being rejected all the time. And so we're here to talk about how to make it suck less and hopefully how to minimize when it happens. In front of you, if you haven't yet, please open your mysterious white card. In the envelope, you have something called Corporate Lingo Bingo. This is a game that I made up because I love games and because I have a theory that when somebody's presenting, our minds, they wander. And so one of the things that helps keep us focused, there are two things. One is music, which we'll get to that. And then two is an activity. So this is your activity to help keep you engaged. Corporate Lingo Bingo is exactly what it sounds like. You are going to take a pen or a pencil and you are going to fill in those 8 blanks with your favorite corporate lingo jargon. So we're talking like a win-win situation, key learnings. Shout them out. What other ones do you like? Synergy. Circle back, follow up, one-on-one. So all of those things. I'm a corporate gal, and so you are going to hear a lot of corporate jargon. And guess what? The first person to get 3 in a row, with the middle being like the tic-tac-toe freebie, wins a book. You are just in time for Corporate Lingo Bingo. So whose book? My book. So I just published, thank you. Thanks for being here. I just published my first book. It's called Corporating, and it's about the 3 ways to win at work. It is the painful, the struggles, the stumbles, the challenges that I had in the first, let's call it 10 years of my career, written out bare naked for all the world to see. But the reason I wrote this book is because I'm very passionate about helping weirdos like myself thrive in any sort of a business environment. It does not happen overnight. Many of us have to experience the trials and tribulations for ourselves. But turns out there are 3 ways to win at work. Hi, welcome. We've been waiting for you. Come in. You're finally here. Here, come on in. It turns out there are 3 ways to win at work. They are your relationships, I'm coming, your reputation, and your resilience. And what I have found and why I agreed to speak today is that those 3 reasons and those 3 ways you win at work, they also help you a lot with rejection. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Today's roadmap, I love a roadmap. I don't want to go into a room and not know what I'm getting into. Don't invite me to a meeting, no agenda, no attenda. So first roadmap today, we're going to understand rejection. Why does it suck so much? We're going to talk about that. We're going to have our feelings felt. 2, responding to rejection. What do you do when it happens? How can you make it a little bit less painful? And 3, getting up when you hit a wall, when you fall down, when you stumble. So my friend mentioned I'm like VP of this and that, and that like I've got all this fancy like things attached to my name, but he didn't tell you I'm also a huge musical theater nerd. Any other musicians, theater nerds in the house? Yes! Thank God you're in the right room. All right, cool. So as I was writing this book, I got a little distracted, and I wrote a musical version of the book. As one does. So I wrote Corporate and Cabaret. There are 3 published songs wherever you stream your music. Some people get very, very uncomfortable hearing people sing unexpectedly. So I'm gonna let you like choose your journey here. I have prepared to sing one of them for you. I'm also very happy not to. So are we a yes? Okay. All right. They set this up for me. Let's make it happen if you're into it. I was like, it's 50-50. I don't know what they're going to say. You know life is full of trouble, but their life was like a bubble, grew up wandering through the corn. Climbing trees and playing euchre, working hard to be a trooper, knew our manners since we were born. Kids would stroll around the streets with no shoes upon their feet, splash through puddles on rainy days. Grab our friends and go to town, open mic and walk around, just be home before dark, they'd say. I'm a Midwest girl in a corporate world. I'm a Midwest girl in a corporate world. I made my way to San Francisco, out there life was like a rainbow. Thought I can't wait to see how this goes. This brand was always an expression, gotta make a good impression. I'm so terrified, but nobody knows. Everybody's wearing blue jeans, I'm acting like it's cool beans, totally under control. That's when I met my buddy Martha. She had traveled out from Utah. We became inseparable. I'm a Midwest girl in a corporate world. I'm a Midwest girl in a corporate world. You made a friend, you've got this. You made a plan, you can do it. You made a friend, you've got this. You made a plan, you can do it. Then I got into some trouble. Corporate life was like a bubble and I wasn't quite sure I fit in. Other friends knew what they wanted, got their offers and they flaunted, but I didn't know where to begin. It was feeling like a race, but I hadn't found my place. Crunching numbers just wasn't for me. I thought I really want to stay, I just need to find a way. When you ask, sometimes you receive. Oh, 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 I'm a Midwest girl in a corporate world. I'm a Midwest girl in a corporate world. You made a friend, you've got this. You made a plan, you can do it. You made a friend, you've got this. You made a friend, you can do it. So here's the thing about being a theater kid. No one knows rejection like a theater kid. So I think that's why they asked me to do this, is because I have been rejected nonstop consistently since I was 12 years old. So this is me at a Broadway audition, December of 2009, outside, let's call this the Public Theater probably in New York City. 5 a.m., this is pretty standard. You'd line up, that's me hanging out. I don't know these people, these are a bunch of strangers. And then you'd wait for 4 to 5 hours. You'd get seen for maybe 30 seconds of a lineup of judges. They'd say, thank you very much, goodbye. My go-to song for auditions was Special, Avenue Q.
No, I love it. All right.
Sing it. I can make you feel. Hey, there you go. So the reason why I took this leap, why I took this jump when I was in my 20s is because I had a very overinflated sense of confidence, because I got the first role I ever auditioned for when I was 11 years old. So this is me. I'm Mary Rogers in the Will Rogers Follies, which was a local production in Valparaiso, Indiana, where I grew up. So here's how it went down. I got a call from my aunt who said, we are down to Mary Rogers, and we're wondering if Mandy would be interested in auditioning. And this is like one of those core memories I will never forget. I'm 11 years old. I'm standing in front of, they called it the Memorial Opera House, which to me, I was like, opera, wow, like we're so fancy here in Valparaiso, Indiana. It wasn't that fancy. But I was standing outside that theater, and I remember there was a spotlight on me because it was pitch black, it was freezing cold, and there was, one of those lamp posts, and I was like really feeling myself in that moment. And the director said, okay, Mandy, can you sing something for us? And I literally could think of nothing except for Wilson Phillips. And so I was like, I know there's pain. And the director was like, wow, why do you lock yourself up in these chains? You've got no one to blame for your unhappiness. No, baby. You got yourself into your own mess. Ooh, letting your worries pass you by. Okay, so that's gonna be in your head all day, and I'm not sorry about it. But here's the thing. The reason why I got that role is because of these like three things. I had an in. It was my Aunt Debbie. I would have never known about that role otherwise. She happened to be performing in it. So she called me, left a message on my actual voicing machine, you know, like those bricks that we all used to have in my kitchen. My mom, she said, okay. She said she would drive me to the audition. She'd take me to whatever needed to happen. So the conditions were right. And I didn't hold back. So me and Wilson Phillips, we were tag teaming this effort of just completely giving it our all. And so the lesson here that I want you to take away is that the confidence comes from the action. So that was true when I was 11, and it's true today. I was scared. I was fearful. I was afraid of rejection in the same way that I am today. But what I didn't know then that I do know now is that the confidence that I feel comes from the doing. It comes from the trying. I didn't feel confident going into it. I felt confident leaving it because I did the thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so why? Why does rejection suck so much? And this is not a trick question. I'm genuinely curious to know what you all think. I have my theories. What's the thing? Why does it suck? Hurt your feelings. What part of your feelings? The heart feelings. Mm-hmm.
Brings up feelings of self-doubt.
Self-doubt, yes. Mm-hmm. Expectation, say more about that.
Like you had already kind of accepted the fact that you might get it already. You're already building that roadmap. The future towards like already getting accepted.
Yeah.
And
Disappointment.
Yeah.
So it does what to your self-confidence?
Shatters.
It invalidates you.
Someone said this also. I believe what I felt like it ties yourself to your self-worth, your identity, who you thought you are, or would be, or could be.
Yep. Yep.
You start to second guess what you did wrong.
You start to second guess what you did wrong.
We just think it's inherent, and it's not something we can't do something about it.
Totally. Yes, Jess, exactly. Loss of control. So that matches with how I look at rejection. It makes us feel out of control. It makes us question our self-worth. It takes away our sense of security. I'm looking at your faces. You're like, she's such a bummer. No, I'm not. I'm so fun. I handed out bingo cards. So let's focus on that. And let's circle back to this later on. Okay. So I'd love for you all to turn to the person, let's say directly behind you. Let's do a little like turnaround exercise. The 2 or 3 people behind or in front of you, and share a rejection story. Maybe it's a group of 2 or 3. But what I would love for you to share, stick with me for a second because you're going to want these instructions. You're going to want to share your most recent or memorable rejection. And the reason I wanted you to come back is because you're not just going to share it with your partner. I'm going to ask a couple of you to share it back, but you're not going to share your story. You're going to share your partner's story. So this will be a bit of a listening exercise. Make sure you're taking notes or doing a good job listening, just to share the highlights of how it ties back to the reasons why rejection sucks so much. So go ahead. Go ahead and switch if you haven't yet. Go ahead and switch stories if you haven't yet. Go ahead and switch stories if you haven't yet. Go ahead and switch stories if you haven't yet. Go ahead and switch up your stories. Maybe one more minute. Okay. I think I'm going to have to do something drastic to get their attention. Don't worry, I'm ready. I'm in my Disney era. So who wants to share what their partner had to share, with their permission, of course? What was the high level? Yeah, I'm assuming you had some synergy. It was a good one-on-one. I didn't know if A was equivalent to bingo, but when you're ready, go ahead and shout it out. Who wants to share?
I can share mine.
Go ahead.
We talked a lot, actually. There's been a lot of rejection.
Yeah.
My favorite relationship one is, for me, is it's like, I knew you were a snake and I still let you bite me.
Mm.
Because it was like, I didn't even want to go on a date with you. And I was like, I'm not going to be the jerk. I'll go on a date with you. And then like 6 months later, it's like, wait, you're breaking up. You disturbed my slumber.
Excuse you.
I was like, the math's not math.
Absolutely. Anyone else have math that wasn't mathing? Go ahead.
Someone in our group shared that they had like interviewing for a role, calls went really well, and they had a lot of like positive
Yeah.
feedback, and then got a call back that was like, you're not moving to the next stage.
Yeah.
That was really disappointing.
Yeah. Have we all felt that before? Mm-hmm. It's very low grumble. It's like a very base grumble. So we talked a lot about why it sucks so much, but what we can talk about next is that feeling, that loss of control. What can we control? We can control who we know. We talked a lot today about networking. We can control how we react, and we can control what we do next. So in this wonderful book that I wrote, thank you for laughing. That's really nice. It's split up into, this will surprise no one, into 3 acts. The first act is on relationships, the second reputation, the third is resilience. And in the first act, I state that you don't need to know the casting director, but it sure helps your chances. And so I'm going to share with you a recent story of rejection that was really painful, and that sucked a lot. But there's like a happy ending, so like bear with me. So I'm about 6 months out from my book launch, and I start thinking about how can I create the biggest impact? Because for me, like, no one makes money from books. This is not like a money-making machine here. You do it typically because you either want to start building some kind of a business or you have something that you want to give back. Mine was the latter. So who needs this book? Young people who are about to go into the corporate world. Okay, so college-age students, who should I connect with? Hello, my alma mater, Indiana University. So I start doing all the right things. I start thinking, who do I know? All right, I'm going to connect with that alumni guy. Maybe he has some connections to the Kelley School of Business. No, actually, I think I'll start with Ann Bastinelli. Anne was my marketing professor 20 years ago. She still works there at the Kelley School of Business, and she's a woman who I have admired for 2 decades. I love this woman. She made a difference in my life, and I'm still in touch with her. I'm a celebrity guest judge at one of her marketing classes. So I contact her. She says, yes, awesome, let's chat. As you know, these things take time, patience, persistence. I continue on. We finally have the conversation, and she says, yes, this is an awesome book. This would really benefit Kelley School of Business. It's not for me, though. I'm going to direct you to someone who works at our career development program, Professor Tahani. And I say, okay, yeah, totally. I'm going to talk to Professor Tahani. This is IU. Go IU. So I talk to Professor Tahani. We eventually create those connections. We connect the dots. Lots of synergy there as well. We do have a one-on-one. And she asks me specifically about what I think the ROI is of this book. And I say, and I expressed to her that the return on investment for me is if I can change one life, which, by the way, she totally bought into. I didn't mean it as a line, but I think that showed me like the appetite for this. It had to do with what we were talking about the last session, like my passion, where it comes from within me. So one thing leads to another. And this is the notice that Ann Bastinelli sent as an introduction and that Tahani then used as well. I wanted to introduce you to one of my former Kelley students, Mandy Mooney. Mandy graduated from IU in 2007 and is now the Vice President of Internal Communications at Prologis in San Francisco. She's a first-time author of a new book titled Corporating: 3 Ways to Win at Work. The reason I'm showing this to you is because a lot of times people talk about a warm intro, but they don't understand like what it takes to get a warm intro. It takes you writing it yourself. You think she wrote this? No, I wrote this. She sent it, but I wrote it. I read a copy of the manuscript. Corporating is a fresh, practical guide for young professionals learning to navigate the corporate world. Mandy shares the unspoken rules of workplace success through engaging personal stories, actionable advice, and even interactive exercises. The book focuses on 3 critical areas: building relationships, establishing a personal brand and reputation, and developing resilience. Long story short, the warm intro is my one biggest secret to success. If I can offer you nothing else walking out of here, this is the money slide. The warm intro is one of the best ways to overcome rejection or to avoid it in the first place, because you're doing 2 things by writing your own warm introduction. You are shaping the narrative. So she wrote that email in my voice, in the way that I wanted her to think of me and to shape me. And 2, I made it really easy for her to say, yes, I did all the hard work. I wrote the thing. All she had to do was send the thing. So the warm intro, it's not enough to just be introduced to a person, it's how you are introduced to that person to begin with. That's one way to, not really overcome rejection, but to potentially avoid it in the first place, is getting that really nice, warm, feel-good, cozy blanket intro. So warm intro is getting introduced to a hiring decision maker or someone with influence through a person who already has a trusted relationship with them. So back to the story, here we are. Summer of 2025, I speak to Ann. Ann says, yes, I'm going to introduce you to Professor Tahani. Cool, Professor Tahani, it takes weeks, but we eventually talk. She gets it, she's into it, she understands the ROI. She says, I'm going to introduce you to the Compass team. What's a Compass team? So when I went to Indiana University, the Kelley School of Business called it the Career Development Program. Now it's called Compass. Cool, whatever. Potato, potato, Compass me. So I speak to the Compass team eventually after getting tossed around a bunch. And as you know, these things always take time. But I do speak to them and they say, we need to introduce you to Clark. Clark is, up until this point, the villain of this story. So I get time on the calendar with Clark. It's October 28th, 2025. I have planned so much for this meeting, and you know where this is going. So I'm traveling at the time in my Amsterdam office. The Amsterdam office, like, they believe in work-life balance, and so the lights just like shut off at 5 p.m. So I'm sitting there at a desk. I mean, I'm like waving my arms, trying to keep the lights on. And I get an email 5 minutes before saying that the meeting is canceled. No warning, no reason why. I respond and I express some frustration. You know, I've done a lot of planning for this meeting. I was really looking forward to having this conversation on how to integrate my book into the Kelly curriculum. We got really busy. Let's reconnect next month. November's going to be better. November comes and goes. December comes and goes. There is not only no hint of Clark ever reconnecting with me, I have been fully ghosted. We are in ghost central. And I felt so sad because it was like being rejected by my own people. Like, this is my alum. These are people who, like, everyone else is very excited about this, Clark. Like, where are you, buddy? And so I started doing the insane thing that most people do, which is you start copying everyone you know and like hoping that'll get his attention. It didn't work. It actually had the opposite effect. I was getting ghosted deeper and deeper. And so I was like, what do I do? So I went back to, who do I know? Okay, well, I talked to Anne, I talked to this Professor Tahani person, but what about Keith, the alumni guy? I never really followed up with him. Oh, and he works with Brandy and Laura. I should really reconnect with them because those two gals have really good energy and maybe there's something there. Oh, wait, and what about Tom and Mike? My two C-suite executives that also went to Indiana University. I think they're even donating. I should really follow up with them. What about that gal at IU Press? We had a conversation years ago, but I bet she would remember me. So I start going through the list of like, I thought that I had this down. I thought I was talking to the right people, but I know other people. There's always another person to talk to. So I went from the depths of despair in December to really starting to come up from my sadness and think, who do I need to reconnect with? That's something I can control. What else can I control? How I react. Instead of being sad and feeling sorry for myself, I started channeling a woman named Peggy Klaus. Any chance you've heard of her before? She's written a couple books. She's another theater person. She's an amazing mentor to me, and she has been my entire career. And the one thing I really took away from her, which I'd love to impose upon you, is how fascinating. When something shitty happens, how fascinating. Okay, well, instead of feeling sorry for myself, how can I come from a place of curiosity? Okay, Clark didn't want to talk to me. How fascinating. Wonder what that's about. Maybe he's a terrible person, but maybe he's going through a hard time. Maybe, what? Maybe Clark doesn't see the value. Maybe Clark doesn't realize I'm trying to get a hold of him. Probably not that one. And then I can also control what I do next. So this is where the story gets nuts. So what I'm about to share with you are real events. What I'm about to share with you is like level 10 nuts. But I decided to go to IU. Try ignoring me now, Clark. I'm right here. So, side note, my little sister Catherine was having a bridal shower, so I was going to be going to Indiana anyway the next weekend. I'm not a total psycho. Just want to put that out there. But I do decide to go to Indiana, and what I do is I start emailing everyone I know and saying something to the effect of, hi, Anne, I'm going to be working from my Indianapolis office the week of February 9th. True story. Any chance you'll be around? If so, I'd love to come see you for a long overdue visit. It will also be the week before my book launches. So we could think about doing a special pre-launch gathering on campus where I give away some free copies and connect with students. Hey, Mandy, we will definitely work this out. I'm proud of you. And that was it. That was all I needed. She promised me nothing, but I was like, that feels like a commitment to me. I'm buying a ticket. So is this a little crazy? Yes. But also, I was so in the depths of sadness about this not working out. This was like one of my dream scenarios, the fantasy in my head. I was determined to make it work. So if it took me making some shit up about having business at IU, which is like not totally a lie, I did have business. They just didn't know it was with them. So I did go to IU, and it wasn't just about tracking down this person who I had never met. It was this realization that I had of, I knew people, but I didn't have deep relationships with people. I needed to like go to a coffee house with these people. I needed to form actual relationships. I needed to figure out what their dog's name was. Like, people want to do things for you when they know you and when they like you. And it doesn't happen over Zoom a lot of the times. Like, you really need to sometimes build that relationship and create authentic connections. So that was what it was about for me. It wasn't like meeting new people. It was strengthening the ones I already had. Building momentum for the book. So it was the week before this book launched. And so meeting with students, understanding, did they even like this product that I made? The faculty were like, is this something that would resonate for your students? The way that I wrote it, the way that I shaped it. And then also building content. So last session, we talked about social media. Like, I had created, I think, like Mandy Mooney author on Instagram, but that was it. Like, I needed some stuff. And so I reached out to the journalism school through a contact of my dad. Yes, I'm 40 years old and I'm still using my dad's connections. You should too. And she helped me find somebody to just like follow me around and take photos and videos and put together content for me. So that I did have some other reasons to go. This is me. I did it. So that's me with Ann Bastinelli, my old marketing professor. I spoke to the students, 2 different classes, my old marketing class.
What's her dog's name?
Daisy. She's like a helper dog. I guess like there's a diabetes situation, high blood pressure or something. So this is me with Keith, Laura, and Brandy. They helped me put together, the Kelly student government put together a meet and greet, like an author meet and greet. So like, and I asked the student who was in charge, I said, how was this presented to you? He was like, oh, well, we had heard like an author was coming and the dean was really supportive of her. And so and I was like, great, I'm so glad that's what you heard. But that was the narrative that I was creating for myself. So is some of this full of shit? Kind of. But also, like, you are creating the doors that you're going to walk into, right? Like, if those opportunities aren't lining up, I think Haas said this morning, like, you create those opportunities for yourself. Make your own table. Here I am at another table. So this is the Women in Real Estate group. They had me come speak to them and serve as a mentor for one of their club meetings. Here's me taking out some of the students from, what does it stand for? Some of the other club, like student government club. And then here's me in front of the Kelly School of Business holding my book. I also arranged a meeting with the dean. So this is me with the dean. And this is another one of those meetings I spent a lot of time preparing for. So I spoke to people who had met him, like, what kind of food does this guy like? Like, what's he into? Like, trying to make sure that I'm making the most of this time. And I was no fool. I mean, my husband works in academia and he warned me, like, deans don't have any control over curriculum. I was like, okay, that's fine. But what I really want out of this relationship is just some credibility, like to have formed a relationship with him to say, I know the dean is supportive of my book. This was a 30-minute meeting that lasted 10 minutes. And it's not like, there's nothing wrong with this guy. He's a nice enough guy, but like, he doesn't give a shit about my book. Like, what he cared about was I'm a former Kelly alum who has a potential to donate money someday. That's what he cares about. And so like, he's winning, I'm winning, we're all winning, we're building relationships, but I got the selfie. And what I really wanted out of this meeting, did it even? Oh, hold on there. So he says to me during this meeting, he's like, well, you know, I really have nothing to do with curriculum, but I should really introduce you to this guy named Clark. Have you met Clark? And I was like, oh, I know Clark. And I shared with him, you know, we've been trying to get together for some months now, but I think Clark's schedule is pretty challenging, but I would love a reintroduction to Clark. That would be great, Pat. So knowing that this was forthcoming and knowing that I only had 10 minutes in this meeting and I had 20 minutes left before I had to like hop on my car and leave, I decided I was going to go find Clark. So I was like, you know, what the hell? Let's see if I can find him. And the Kelly School of Business is an absolute maze. I mean, and every door looks the same, and I hadn't been there in 20 years, so like that didn't help. There's a bridge inside the building, and there's a bunch of badge access only areas. Do you want to guess where Clark's office is? Badge access only. Do you want to guess if that stopped me? No, it did not, ma'am. No, it did not. So, if you are getting doors closed in your face, find another door. Find another door. I went to go find Clark's door. I waited outside the badge access area after realizing where he was probably going to be. I did my best impression of Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, and I let someone else out, and I let myself in. Then I'm like walking around looking at the nameplates. I'm like, where? Ah, here's Clark. At the end of the hallway, it's dark, there is no light on, and the door is closed. And I was like, damn, all this way, and there's no Clark. Okay. So I go into the side, there's like a cafeteria right next to his office. It's like a staff cafeteria. And I start writing a little note on this. They gave me a goodie bag. Kelly School of Business notebook was in there. So I start writing this note, and it said, hi, Clark. I'm sorry I missed you. It's been a whirlwind couple of days on campus with book launch events and speaking to students. The response has been phenomenal. I'm so excited to finally connect with you to discuss the possibilities. Let's talk soon. Mandy Mooney. This is under his door, and this is me putting it on his door. Do you notice anything strange about this photo? How about now? Super creepy, right? So as I'm putting this under his door, I hear, "Excuse me, can I help you?" And I was like, "Oh, shit." And it was this woman. I was like, "Oh, I was just looking for Clark. I just met with Dean Hopkins and he suggested I meet with him. But, I didn't see him. I'm just going to leave a note and see you later." So I get away with it. I go back into the side place and I start typing an email to the dean and just, saying, "Thank you so much." And that's another thing about meeting with someone, right? You want to quickly respond and say, "Thank you for their time." Well, she walks in and she's eating a bag of potato chips. And we strike up a conversation. Turns out her name is Danielle. She listens to the very high level version of the story. I give her like the low hanging fruit. And I say to her, "How do you know Clark?" And she said, "Oh, I'm his assistant." "Oh, you are you?" "Yes, I manage his schedule." "Oh, you do you?" "I've been trying to get a hold of Clark for months and we haven't been able to connect. He said he was super busy, but I gotta be honest, it's been a really frustrating experience." And she was like, "Look, he is insanely busy. He's such a nice guy. Please don't take it personally." And I was like, "I'm trying not to, but it's hard, Danielle. It's been a hard road." And she was like, "Forward me the communication between you. I will make sure you get on his calendar." And Danielle freaking delivered. I did get on his calendar. And then this is what Pat said over to Clark the next day. "Hi, Clark. On Wednesday." By the way, hang on, I have to pause and say, do you think that he wrote this email? No, I wrote this email. "Thank you so much for meeting me with Dean Hopkins and for the reintroduction to Clark. Here's a draft." So then he did it. "On Wednesday, I met with Mandy Mooney, a Cali alum who's written a new book on navigating the corporate world. She's been on campus this week connecting with faculty and students and is interested in identifying ways she can add value to Kelly. Given her communications experience and her current focus on career, she may have something to offer. I know you have many curricular initiatives underway, and you can decide how Mandy's assistance might be aligned with what you are doing. I'll be seeing Mandy when she hosts at the Prologis headquarters True Story on April 1st. Hi, Pat. Mandy and I connected this week and are meeting the week of 2/23. I look forward to our conversation." I bet you do, Clark. So at this point, like I said, Clark is very much the villain of this story, but that is about to change. Turns out, hold on. Clark is very much the overworked, exhausted, burnt out person that so many, like we all feel that. And when I spoke to him, I actually found him to be lovely. And he was very interested and he was attentive. And I was like, "Damn it, I hate that I've been hating you for 6 months." Like, I just said it to him straight. I was like, "I really thought you were the villain in this narrative." And he's like, "No, I'm so sorry. It's just been an absolutely exhausting couple of months. We're understaffed and we have this and we have that." And I was like, "I feel you, Clark. I've totally been there." So now we're buds. And this is the email that he wrote afterwards. "Hi, Mandy. Thanks for the wonderful conversation today. I appreciate your passion for Kelly. We're so lucky to have you as an accomplished and generous alum. As I mentioned, I would like to explore ways to integrate you and your book into our professional skills courses. Hence, I wanted to introduce you to Professor who teaches Compass 2 and is widely regarded as a rock star in our field. He's eager to connect with you, and I'm confident that you and he can begin to imagine ways to pilot a collaboration. I look forward to also connecting with you again soon. And as I've told, I'm happy to support or facilitate this relationship in any way I can." Can we get an applause for Clark? Good job, good sir. So my point is, you're going to get a lot of no's. It only takes one yes. And sometimes finding that yes is a matter of you being able to create your own opportunities and to open your own doors. How much time do I have? Yay! Congratulations. Okay, let's connect afterwards. I'm going to send you a free book. Okay, great. I saw something on the internet, my just favorite place, yesterday, and it said, "A winner is just a loser who asked one more time." I really liked that. A winner is just a loser who asked one more time. I could have very much given up on October 28th. That could have been the end of that story. But no, I flew to Indiana and I met with enough people and built enough relationships where it ended in a yes. So it does have a happy ending. I would love for you to spend, let's call it 4 minutes, 2 minutes per person, talking about your recent success story. When you were asking for something and you did get it, you were up against something you weren't expecting and it turned out to be a yes. Share your most recent or memorable success story with your partner and we'll chat in a couple minutes. Go ahead. It's up to you. It's up to you. Get wild. Hi.
This was the best thing I've ever. Like, you're so fucking good at this. Do you realize?
Thank you.
How captivating you are?
Thank you. I have fun. Thank you.
So good. I didn't
Will you tell Robin
Yes,
that you
of
felt
course.
that way? Thank you. And will you find me so we can stay connected?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a 3:30 call. I didn't want you to think I thought it was boring.
Thank you so much.
But
Yeah.
this was, yeah.
What's your name?
Lindsay.
Lindsay. Cool.
I resonate with this so deeply.
You want to hug it out?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, God. Good for you.
Thank you.
I'll find you on LinkedIn.
Okay, fab.
You're so good.
Thank you.
Yes, I did. I did the rollout to the.
I have a question for you. I don't know if you'll address this, but sometimes for rejection, you can learn from, right? Like you were really believed in your book, and sure it's great. But I'm saying that maybe there's something about I'm the founder of a small nonprofit. We have a product that we sell, and I also raise money. It's easier for me to raise money right now, which is surprising, because I can tell my story. But selling our product has been harder, and I'm trying to figure out what can I learn about, like, well, maybe our product should be a little different, and it's hard to get feedback from people when they say no.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to tell you. They don't. They're just like they don't. It's uncomfortable. There's not much value.
Yeah.
And I'd love to learn.
Yep. I have a thought on this. We bring it up to the group.
Yeah.
Are you good or do you need another minute? You good? one. Frozen 2? Anyone? All right. Was it a success story or was it a silly story? Do you want to share? Do you want to share?
Well, we both have interesting stories about how we got to our current jobs.
Tell us.
So I've been working in the psychedelic space for 5 years.
We have a supporter.
Like after I got laid off from COVID, I was like, you know what, fuck it. I use psychedelic drugs. They make me a better DEI practitioner. I create new solutions. I challenge systems, and like I just want to work with people that want to do drugs.
That's a good tagline.
I got messages like, you gotta take that down, you're in HR. But then some messages I got were like, yes, like that's fresh, that's interesting, like, you know, like keep it up. Like I do that too. And then I got tagged by a bunch of people that work with this preeminent, longest running, best funded psychedelics company that's doing clinical trials for MDMA. We were just looking for someone like you, and as far as we know, you're the only person, so you're hired.
That's amazing.
We're not the same story.
Do you love drugs too?
different, same blueprint, different expression. I was working in tech, and I knew that it wasn't wasn't supposed to be my path anymore. I had done theater in high school and in college, and theater was like the first place I felt like I could breathe. Like I really think it was like my first love in life. But I had been so in my own echo chamber for so long. I was kind of like, look, I know that this exists out here, but I don't know anybody who does it. I don't see anybody who does it. I'm just surrounded by TV sales, and which is like a dark horror. And so then I just started taking a bunch of adult acting classes, and I kind of like took them in different areas. Like I was at one studio, and then I was in Berkeley, and then I was in San Francisco, and I was just like I kept going back. And eventually, a teacher referred me to a jobs board, and I was like looking actually for performance opportunities. But in this jobs board, a professional development sales role opened for this theater company that I work at, and I was like, that could be a good fit. And so it was similar. It was just like kind of like following these threads. And I feel like with your story, you're so multi-threaded. Like to use a sales term.
Yeah.
But all of that kind of circle, it only made you luckier, and it only supported you. And I think similar for me, it was like I'm casting a wide net and seeing what sticks.
Robin calls that your luck surface area. He brought that up in our podcast, and I was like, totally Google luck surface area. I have no idea what that is, but it's this idea that you spread your net wide enough that you are increasing your luck surface area and luck potential because you've got your hands in a lot of cookie jars. We are going to get to a Q&A. I see you. I know what's coming next. I know. So we're coming to the end here. There's one more story I wanted to share with you, and it's how I met this guy. Do you know him? Are you acquainted? I wish he was here so we could all just tell him how much we love him and want to just like snuggle him up. He's the best. So Robin and I met 2 years ago because I made it happen. I watched him on stage at the Responsive Conference 2024, and I was like, whoa, this guy's really cool. He's like magnetic. He's very charismatic. He obviously cares a lot, all things I like in people. And so I chose my moment, but he was in the hallway. I was coming back from the bathroom. It was during a session, and he was just miraculously by himself, which actually he does a lot. If you watch him at the conference, like he's kind of like hanging by himself a lot. And I think he does that because he's observing and taking it all in. Anyway. So I zeroed in on him, and I went up to him and I said, "Hi, I'm Mandy. You're neat. I want to be friends." And his reaction, he was like, oh yeah, okay, great. And so from there, I tell you this story because look, I'm an extrovert. I recognize this is not easy to do all the time for everybody. And I know that I'm on the extreme end of extroversion. But what I did was not like exceptional. Like going up to somebody you don't know and saying, "Hi, my name is" at a conference is like a really normal thing to do. Yeah, right? Did you do that?
None of these two.
Totally. So I end with this story because I want to say, like, Fast forward, Robin and I had a couple Zoom calls. We connected authentically. And then this is us at his housewarming party last year. Like, I went with my daughter and we hung out. I ended up like saving this kid's life in the pool who was like sort of drowning. And so, like, anyway, side note. But like once you establish a real friendship with somebody, you get invited to housewarming parties and you experience these like life moments together. And now, like, look at us. Like, I was on his podcast. Here I am at his conference. Like, we've established a relationship where there's mutual trust and love. And he got married and I'm so excited for him. I sent him a gift. Like, this is a real friendship now. But it all started because I stopped him in the hallway, and this increases my luck surface area just by knowing him by association with this wonderful human. And so my challenge to you is to go introduce yourself to somebody who feels like maybe not the normal person you would introduce yourself to, but to start establishing relationships and widening your net. So final activity goes outside of this room. This is something where I think sometimes we need to be pushed and challenged to meet people, whether it's today and someone you've seen across the room who you think is interesting, or somebody who's in your network who you've just been admiring from a distance. I would like you to find a way to connect, and I am going to hold you accountable. I'm your accountability partner. And so I want you to email me. It's mandy@mandymooney.com. Please don't send me spam. This is like a spam pact. I won't send you weird shit. You don't send me weird shit. But email me your name and email me the person's name, because I'm going to hold you accountable and I'm going to see if you followed through on doing it within the next 30 days. Yeah, or one. I mean, if you do it today, great. But if it's something you need to work up towards, clearly you're an extrovert. I get that. But we have, I don't know, maybe 4 minutes for Q&A. Is there anything you wanted to bring up?
So I had a question,
Yep.
which is I have an early stage venture and we're still working on product market fit.
Mm-hmm.
So, some organizations are using our product, which is great, and some aren't. And I'd like to just know why.
Mm-hmm.
It really helps me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to like hound them, but I just would like to know, like, give me feedback so we can get that in. And I'm curious when rejection can be helpful and how you get that information.
Yeah. So you're saying, so repeating back, you think feedback is a gift and you want to get feedback so that you can continue to improve and understand. Incentivizing is really helpful. So when I get rejected for an interview, I write a handwritten thank you card every time. Constantly, I'm writing thank you notes, handwritten, even if, and especially if I was rejected, and I send a gift card. And it's usually like a $10 Starbucks gift card or something. I say, I'm sending you this gift card in hopes that I can take you out to coffee because I would love to better understand why it was a no, or feel free to pick up the phone. Similarly, over email, I'll write back if I get a no to something and I'll say, thank you so much for the response. I am a big believer that feedback is a gift, and I would love to better understand what didn't work out so that I can continue to improve. Trust me when I say this will not be an awkward conversation for me. I'm super grateful for anything you can offer, whether it's through email or feel free to pick up the phone. Here's my number. So I think if you come at it from a way where it's either incentivizing the feedback or makes it really non-threatening with the words that you share. If somebody says, do you have any feedback for me? I'm always like, no, avoiding that one. But if they're like, I actually really love feedback and it would be super cool if you could give me any insight. Sometimes I think that, and what about you all? How do you incentivize feedback?
I have before, early on when I was doing workshops, it was really authentic for me to say, it would mean the world to me if you would take 2 minutes and let me know how this went.
Very cool.
I also do it at a point, especially if it's over a period of time where you can ask not at the end. So if you can build that trust by asking in the middle, or if you, for example, I will facilitate a workshop and it's 2 days. At the end of either at lunchtime the first day or at the end of the day, say, how can we make tomorrow better for you? And then they're more willing to give them at the end also. Well, like my sales cycle, it's like usually like 4 or 5 conversations with 2 or 3 different people. So that would be really helpful just to say, any feedback at this stage. And to say I'm really open to it, it really helps me.
Great. That's perfect. Any other questions? Reflections?
Should I or should I not put the scorpion's coat?
We're being filmed, so I'll tell you after. All right, awesome. Well, I want to leave you with this final thought. Oh, wait, this one. Act 3. Rejection is hard, but you can't land a leading role if you stop auditioning. Rejection is hard, but you can't land a leading role if you stop auditioning. So the next time you get a no, next time you get that rejection, start thinking, be curious, get creative. Like, Did you know the right people? You can control how you act. You can control what you do next. Do you have the right relationships? The reputation, the resilience? Do you have all the things in place? What more could you do? What doors could you open for yourself? Because the people that win at work are not the ones who avoid rejection. They're the ones who don't give up. Thank you.